The story begins in a dark, blood-soaked dungeon. It's an absolute massacre. The bodies of an elite squad are scattered on the cold stone floor, completely wiped out. Only one man is left standing among the carnage, Seo Ju-hyun. He's drenched in blood, gripping his sword, his eyes burning with pure rage. From the shadows of this colossal ancient coliseum, a massive, nightmarish, legendary snake descends. This isn't a fair fight, it's a straight-up execution. The legendary snake lunges with savage force, but Ju-hyun dodges with insane agility. He counters with a swift strike, but the beast blocks it with its steel-like fangs. Ju-hyun doesn't back down. He maneuvers smoothly, leaps onto the wall, and bravely charges his blade with a legendary power that shocks the snake. But out of nowhere, the beast counters and smashes Ju-hyun straight into the wall. The monster goes berserk and attacks again, but at the very last second, Ju-hyun evades, causing the beast to smash headfirst into the stone. Seizing the perfect moment, Ju-hyun unleashes his ultimate attack with pure swagger, stabbing his sword deep into the snake's head. But then, the blade shatters. The snake snaps back, sinking its teeth into his legs. In a desperate move, Ju-hyun stabs the broken sword right into the monster's eye, but it's no use. The beast is literally eating him alive, slamming him into the ground while tearing him apart as Ju-hyun screams out in agony that he doesn't want to die. As his life flashes before his eyes, he remembers the face of the man who set him up, Chairman Kwon Tae-jun. That smug, suited bastard sent Ju-hyun and his squad on a suicide mission, promising fat rewards but planning their demise all along. Lying in a pool of his own blood, the harsh reality hits him. He was just a pawn, a disposable hunting dog for the corporate elites. Now, at 38 years old, after a lifetime of surviving the worst dungeons, he realizes this is the end of the line. He is going to die right here, betrayed and completely forgotten. In the very final moment, right before he takes his last breath, time suddenly freezes. Everything around him stops dead in its tracks. Ju-hyun looks down, and absolute shock hits him. His legs are completely severed, lying in a pool of blood. Out of nowhere, a mysterious relic shaped like a gargoyle starts talking to him. It mocks his pathetic death, calling him a fool for serving masters who saw him as straight trash. Ju-hyun, fueled by pure spite, curses his fate and the betrayal of Chairman Kwon. He regrets giving his life away for absolutely nothing, but the relic offers a crazy deal. It proposes giving him a second chance to seize the true throne and rewrite his entire destiny. As Ju-hyun accepts, a blinding, majestic golden light erupts. A mystical raven forged of pure energy materializes and dives directly into his chest. In an insane twist, lightning strikes his body, and his severed legs literally regenerate right before his eyes. Flames consume him as he plummets through a void of time and space. Seo Ju-hyun isn't dying today. He's going back in time to take revenge on every single person who crossed him. Our guy Ju-hyun snaps his eyes open in pure panic, expecting the hellish dungeon and blood. But he's totally stunned. He's sitting in a clean administrative office with normal people just walking around. He frantically checks his legs. No blood, no fatal wounds. They are perfectly intact. His mind is racing. Was it all just a nightmare? Or did that magic actually bring him back? Mid-panic, an annoyed cop snaps at him, demanding to know why he's been spacing out and refusing to give his info for the investigation. Ju-hyun stares at the cop, completely disoriented. But then his eyes lock on to the digital clock on the desk, and the ultimate shock hits him. The date reads January 1st, 2025. In that exact moment, everything clicks. The mysterious relic wasn't lying. He didn't just cheat death, he time traveled 15 whole years into the past. Right before the magical tombs and monsters wiped out the world. A mix of crazy joy and sheer disbelief washes over him. This is his golden ticket to erase his past mistakes, save his comrades, and rewrite history from scratch. Suddenly, an obnoxious woman's voice shatters his thoughts. She's screaming at the cop, trash-talking Joo-hyun, and accusing him of brutally assaulting her son. Joo-hyun glances over and spots the kid rocking a yellow jacket and freckles, flashing a smug, challenging smirk. Joo-hyun remembers this exact day. This punk started the fight, then threw himself on the ground, faking an injury to extort a fat settlement. Back then, a broke Joo-hyun had to drop to his knees and beg them for mercy. The woman gets even more furious at his silence and goes to smack him. But in a split second, he catches her hand with an iron grip. He stands up, cold as ice, a terrifying smirk spreading across his face, proving the weak man from the past is dead. The woman freezes from his crushing grip, and Joo-hyun casually exposes her son's pathetic lie right in front of everyone. The arrogant kid's smirk drops, and he stupidly lunges forward to throw a punch to prove his mom right. But to a guy who spent 15 years slaughtering monsters, this punch moves slower than a turtle. With flawless, lightning-fast agility, Joo-hyun dodges, twists the punk's arm behind his back, and violently slams him to the floor. The kid screams in absolute agony. The cop is completely shell-shocked by this insane reflex. When the mother screams, the cop snaps out of it and orders Joo-hyun to let him go. With a confident grin, Joo-hyun drops the terrified kid. To prevent further chaos, the cop temporarily throws Joo-hyun in a holding cell. But sitting behind those bars, he flashes a victor's smile. The game has just begun, and he's holding all the winning cards. Joo-hyun chills in the holding cell, completely ignoring the cops yelling. He just smirks. Fake charges? Whatever. He knows damn well these laws won't mean a thing once those things finally show up. Our guy relives the nightmare of his past. In 2025, the world literally fell apart. Massive earthquakes hit, and mythical tombs rose from the ruins, hiding magical relics that granted supernatural powers. The world went crazy with greed. Back then, Joo-hyun worked like a slave for a ruthless corporation and its greedy chairman, Kwon Tae-jun. They exploited him to raid tombs and risk his neck, doing all their dirty work so they could get filthy rich, only to betray him in the end. His memories get darker. He remembers how Kwon Tae-jun and his cronies monopolized all the powerful relics, banning anyone else from getting close, basically becoming the new rulers of the world. Joo-hyun relives the humiliation of working under their boots, how he was just a cheap tool for the elites who enslaved society. His blood boils as he recalls the faces of the people who stepped on him, especially the arrogant pricks who treated him like an insect. But sitting in the cell right now, a confident grin spreads across his face. This time, he holds the ultimate cheat sheet. He knows the future. He is going to build the empire. No one will ever use him again, and he's going to snatch every single relic right from under their noses before they even know they exist. Right in the middle of his plotting, the air hums, and a glowing, transparent blue screen materializes out of thin air. Cryptic text reads, "Tomb Raider System." Joo-hyun flinches, quickly glancing around to make sure nobody else can see this. He blinks hard, thinking he's just hallucinating from exhaustion, but the screen stays, the text shifting to reveal it grants basic relic hunting skills. It clicks. This is a gift from that mystical raven. The system unlocks an F-rank sensing skill, letting him detect any movement within a 1-meter radius. He flashes a sly grin, thinking, so, my life is a video game now. To test it out, he closes his eyes and activates the skill. Instantly, his mind's eye maps out the cell. He pinpoints a tiny cockroach crawling on the floor, tracking its exact movements without even looking. He's thrilled. His veteran experience is still intact, and this screen is going to be his ultimate radar for snatching hidden relics. Just as he's revamping his master plan, the cell door swings open. A completely different cop walks in, but this one has a warm, friendly smile aimed right at Joo-hyun. Our guy Joo-hyun steps out of the police station, and the friendly cop apologizes for the mess, telling him they've locked up that punk who tried to frame him. Joo-hyun flashes a confident smile, remembering how this cop was the only one who had his back in the past. He thanks him and casually asks if any weird incidents have popped up lately. People seeing hallucinations, monsters, or maybe even superpowers? The cop gives him a confused look and says everything's completely normal. Nothing like that has happened. Right then, Joo-hyun confirms that the relics haven't gone public yet. This is his golden window to gear up. While racking his brain on how to get some quick cash to kickstart his plan, he suddenly gets boxed into a dark, narrow alley by a local gang of thugs. He locks eyes with their leader, raising an eyebrow with a mocking smirk as the memories come flooding back. It's Araki, an old-school thug who ran an underground stolen art and relic ring with his sister. Back in the day, a broke Juhan had to work for them after school, hauling heavy crates for absolute pennies, constantly taking abuse and beatings from Araki and his goons because he desperately needed the money. But right now, the look in his eyes is completely different. One of Araki's goons steps up, oozing arrogance, and threatens him with a nasty tone. "Your next job is gonna be heavy, and there's no room for mistakes, you son of a bitch." Juhan stands as still as a statue, but pure malice flashes in his eyes, and a terrifying grin creeps onto his face. The goon swings, but in a split second, Juhan hits him with 2 lightning-fast slaps, followed by a brutal punch that drops him cold. Araki loses his mind and blindly charges forward, but our guy totally wrecks him, delivering a savage beatdown left and right until Araki's face is a bloody mess. The rest of the gang jumps in, but Juhan just turns it into a training session, easily mopping the floor with all of them and teaching them some harsh manners. Struggling to his feet and coughing up blood, Araki suddenly whips out a very weird-looking golden knife and lunges straight at Juhan. Our guy's senses immediately confirm that this isn't a normal blade, it's a magical relic radiating energy. But instead of backing down, he confidently braces for the attack like it's a game, whispering to himself with ice-cold certainty, "Your end is gonna be by my hands, and your cash is exactly what I need to start my new project." Araki blindly lunges at Juhan, gripping the dagger, ready to end him. But Juhan just smirks. With lightning-fast reflexes, he dodges, twists Araki's arm behind his back, and drops him, screaming in agony, snatching the golden dagger in a flash. The thugs are frozen, watching their boss get completely humiliated. Juhan activates the relic, and a blinding blue aura engulfs his hand. The magic gives him X-ray vision. He literally sees the thugs' skeletal structures. In an instant, he speed blitzes them with superficial slashes. As they bleed, Juhan chuckles coldly. "These are just scratches. But if you don't empty your pockets right now, the next cut goes straight to the bone." Meanwhile, inside a high-end art gallery office, the manager, Araki's sister, Arai June, is absolutely fuming. Her phone rings, and it's Araki on the line, sounding completely terrified. He drops the bombshell. The weak kid just wiped the floor with them, stole the relic, and drained all their bank accounts at knife point. June is in total denial, telling him he must have lost his damn mind. Cut back to Juhan, holding a small Buddha statue he swiped from the gang. He activates his inspection skill, and the system immediately alerts him. There's a suspicious substance hidden inside. He shatters the base with his dagger without a second thought, revealing a hidden vial of top-grade, incredibly expensive narcotics. A wicked, knowing grin spreads across his face. These guys aren't just petty Tomb Raiders. They're a massive drug-smuggling cartel hiding behind art. A devilish plan forms in his mind to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, settle an old score, and make a fortune. He confidently pulls out his phone and dials his cop buddy. Reality crashes down hard on Arai June. The door to her office gets thrown wide open. Officer Ken marches in with a full tactical raid squad, dragging a battered, handcuffed Araki behind him. June starts yelling, playing the innocent victim card, but Ken shuts her down instantly. "We got an official tip. We raided your secret vaults and found over 600 stolen artifacts totally stuffed with narcotics." June completely loses it, screaming that her vaults are secured with complex passwords that no one could ever crack. Ken just smirks and hands her his phone. On the other end, Juhan is standing inside her open vault, answering with a voice dripping with ultimate smugness. "Complex passwords don't mean a damn thing to the poor employee who worked for you and memorized them all. Have a nice trip to prison." Juhan orchestrated the entire bust, using his flawless future memories to crack the safes and deliver a knockout blow that destroyed their empire for good. Night falls, and Juhan is strolling down the streets. His phone lights up with a text from Officer Ken confirming the payout. A sweet 10 million yen reward dropped right into his account. He grins. His money problems are solved, and he's ready to raid. But as he reaches his old neighborhood, he stops in pure pure shock. His old house is gone, replaced by total devastation. Right in the middle, a colossal, terrifying rocky mountain has burst from the earth. A massive magical tomb has spawned and completely swallowed his home. The real game, packed with monsters and secrets, is just getting started. The crowd is gathering in the streets, completely terrified by this massive rocky mountain that just spawned out of nowhere, crushing homes. In the middle of this chaos stands Linda Walker, the leader of the Bento Republic expedition, whispering into her secure line. The tomb has spawned in Tokyo. The Japanese government is completely clueless. We're prepping the explosives to blast our way in and grab the relics before anyone notices. But her plans get hijacked when Louis Kenchi, the US expedition leader, rolls up with a smug grin. "Don't be so surprised, Linda Walker," she glares, asking what the hell he's doing here. "A delegation from America has no business interfering," she snaps, but he just laughs. "We're all in the same boat, babe. Snooze you lose." Standing in the shadows, Seo Ju-hyun is observing them with a smug grin. Using his sensing and linguistics, he chuckles at their sheer stupidity. They actually think they can blast their way into a magical tomb with raw force? Total amateurs with zero clue about tomb laws or deadly traps. There is no real expert on this field except him. Our guy Ju-hyun steps forward confidently, approaching the solid rock wall. Suddenly, the ground ignites with glowing red lines, and ancient tome glyph symbols pulse along the wall, responding to his presence and opening a path into the dark abyss. A blue system screen materializes, awarding him the title Excellent Translator and unlocking F-rank linguistics to fully decipher the language of tombs and relics. Ju-hyun doesn't waste a single second. Channeling his power into the gate, he grips his dagger and with a fearless look dives straight into the glowing red passage. The moment he slips inside, a massive surge of magical energy seals the gateway behind him, triggering a violent shockwave that shakes the streets outside. The Bento and US teams are left utterly shell-shocked by this majestic event, but their greed kicks in, and both squads immediately rush toward the newly opened gate to claim whatever's inside. Ju-hyun walks with heavy, calculated steps through the pitch-black cave, stagnant water splashing beneath his boots. He flicks his lighter, cutting through the shadows without a single hint of fear. He reaches a massive cavern, featuring a mysterious, glowing, neon green lake radiating intense magical energy. Our guy stops at the edge, stares at the water, and casually tosses his dagger right into the lake. Instantly, the water starts boiling violently, and from the depths emerges a colossal, legendary water snake, deep blue with glowing, malicious yellow eyes. The beast glares down at him, its booming voice shaking the cavern walls. "Which human dares to drop something in my pool?" Ju-hyun stands his ground like a statue, boldly raising his hand to address the monster with pure, cold swagger. The snake lowers its head with utter disdain, opening its jaws packed with razor-sharp teeth to present two distinct blades, a brilliant golden dagger and a calm silver one. The snake sneers, testing him. "Which of these did you drop?" Ju-hyun flashes a wickedly smart grin. He knows this classic fairy tale test perfectly. Answer honestly, and you get both as a reward. But our guy doesn't follow the rules. He calculates his next move. To test the beast, he calmly says he needs a closer look first. He knows this relic is pure evil. In his past life, it used this exact brainwashing trick in the US, turning elite explorers into mindless, bloodthirsty killers. This isn't an honesty test. It's a trap, and Ju-hyun is about to strike. Ju-hyun is not buying this trash for a single second. He sees right through their fake charity. In a flash, he whips out his dagger, leaps like a wild hawk straight onto the legendary snake, and starts hacking away with absolute savage force. The beast shrieks in agony as its dark blue scales turn into a brilliant glowing gold under the brutal assault. Ju-hyun chuckles with a cold, mocking smirk. "You really thought I'd fall for this rookie trap? I wouldn't trust you guys even if my life depended on it." The dying snake gasps out in complete disbelief. "How the hell did you know our secret, human?" Our guy chillingly reminds it of the infamous America incident from his past life, where these exact daggers hijacked the minds of elite explorers, turning them into brainwashed, bloodthirsty serial killers. This dirty playbook is ancient history to Ju-hyun, and he knows it inside out. The snake is fading fast, but Ju-hyun is far from done. He decides to break this relic and make it submit entirely on his own terms. Activating his sheer willpower and a terrifying aura of absolute coercion, his eyes glow with a menacing red lightning that rattles the magical artifact to its core. The beast screeches in total defeat, realizing it has zero chance of escaping Ju Hyun's overwhelming dominance. Suddenly, the colossal snake dissolves into sparkling magical particles, swirling in the air before solidifying in Ju Hyun's hands as twin badass hand axes, one brilliant gold and one sleek silver. A blue system screen materializes with a brand new hilarious title, Despicable Relic Threatener, while unlocking the F-rank Tomb Excavation skill to buff his dungeon rating stats. Ju Hyun flashes a wicked grin. A trashy title, sure, but hey, it gets the job done. Now I've got the perfect cheat code to run this game, and I just scored a sweet double payout. Just as things quiet down, Linda Walker and Louis Kenshi barge into the cavern like absolute amateurs. A smug Louis pulls out a mysterious red flask and casually tosses it into the water to summon the Guardian, thinking he's some kind of tactical mastermind who's about to hijack the tomb. Hiding in the shadows behind the bushes, Ju Hyun is literally laughing his head off at their cluelessness. Snooze you lose, dummies. You're way too late. Suddenly, the air hums and a violent earthquake violently shakes the cavern as massive boulders start crashing down from the ceiling. The entire tomb is collapsing. The rival teams completely lose their minds and run for their lives, while Ju Hyun easily slips away, having cleared the entire board by himself and taken his very first step toward ultimate power. Cut to the trashed art gallery office where Oh Sung-woo is absolutely fuming, tearing his office apart while Araki's goons sit there shaking in their boots after Ju Hyun cleaned them out. Suddenly, Sung-woo's phone buzzes, and guess who's calling? Our guy Ju Hyun, chillin' like a villain and threatening them with total ice-cold swagger. Ju Hyun orders them on a secret mission to Las Vegas to infiltrate Midas, the world's biggest underground magical auction, and spy on their former boss, Chairman Kwon Tae-jun. Sung-woo completely loses his mind, screaming, "Are you out of your mind, kid? How are we supposed to travel when we're dead broke?" But Ju Hyun shuts him down instantly. The payout will be fat, and this is strictly business. Figure it out. In his head, Ju Hyun chuckles, "Play nice and follow orders, or the next lesson won't be so friendly." Our guy steps into the sun-drenched streets of Tokyo, chilling with a juice can in his hand, sipping it calmly. Suddenly, his eyes lock onto a massive news screen reporting a bizarre, mysterious incident at Kawasaki Station. A guy acting completely erratic, lashing out wildly, and causing an absolute public frenzy. Ju Hyun flashes a knowing, wicked grin. He knows exactly what's up. This is the true onset of the tomb eruptions. Before the dungeons officially spawn, rogue relic energy leaks out, hijacking weak minds and driving humans into absolute chaos. While walking down the street, he bumps into Louis Kenshi, looking totally disheveled and eyes burning with pure spite, shouting like crazy for him to watch his step. Ju Hyun stares at him with absolute coldness, but his sensing skill suddenly flags a pulsing purple magical aura beneath Louis' jacket. He quickly realizes this idiot is carrying a powerful relic, showing it off in public like a total rookie. Ju Hyun smirks, thinking this guy is basically offering himself as a free, high-tier prize. To teach him a lesson, Ju Hyun steps back, pops his juice can, and splashes it right in Louis' face. As Louis fumes with embarrassment, Ju Hyun pretends to act clumsy and wipes it off, but with god-tier sleight of hand, he smoothly snatches the relic, leaving Louis holding nothing but his own dropped ID. Louis is on the line with his contacts reporting the tomb eruption just as the ground starts violently rumbling under their feet. While Ju Hyun is still standing right next to him, Louis gets hit with a shockwave that blows his mind when the voice on the line screams, "The Korean guy who stole the tomb relic is standing right next to you! Watch your pockets!" Louis' face freezes in sheer terror as he looks at Ju Hyun and frantically slaps his pocket, only to find the relic is clean gone. Ju Hyun just flashes a cold smirk and walks away laughing, leaving Louis spinning around in absolute sweaty panic, completely losing his mind over getting utterly robbed blind under his own nose.